Hey guys, it's your girl. So I'm really excited to be here and talk about this video with you guys today because one of my first videos was about me transferring from Coastal Carolina to Central Florida, and I'm officially an alumni, and it's really exciting. So I'm doing this video just to give people, insight on the school, tell y'all how I liked it, like my overall review and experience at UCF. I first want to say that everything I say is from my perspective. Please keep in mind that I grew up in Montgomery County, one of the most diverse counties in the nation. So everything from my perspective is all going to be in that view. I really love where I came from and the area I grew up in, and it really shaped me as a person. So like I said, like you might hear some of the stuff I say and be like, huh, like who would even like care about that? But for me, with where I grew up, this is things that I found really important. I first wanted to talk about just of course, backing up off that, the diversity at UCF. It's not considered a PWI, it is now considered a Hispanic serving institution, so that's pretty dope. When I first went to that school, the first thing I noticed was like, wow, this reminds me of home. Like, this is my home away from home. It has so many different people. I'm not the only Black person in class anymore. I'm also not the only minority. Like, there's Black, Asian, like everything. So that was really cool. And when you look at higher ups and people that are like employees or people that are doing what you want to do, there's so many different people to talk to about. So like if you're whatever you're interested in, your career, the cool thing about having diversity is that you can go and talk to other minorities that are in the position you want to be in. One of the things I like to do, like I'm pretty outgoing, so I like going out. The nightlife, Orlando is pretty chill. Like if I compare it to like DC or Miami or like, one of the bigger cities, like it's not that, of course, but it's still cool. Like it's a pretty lit college town. Surprisingly, there was more parties. Everyone used to say Coastal was a party school. When I went to UCF, I was like, oh no, this is a party school because you have so many different people with so many different holidays, cultures, and celebrating anything. Like you learn about all these different things that are important to people and how they're gonna turn up. And me, I love going out and having a good time. So whenever there's a party, I'm down, I'm there. And everyone's pretty much welcoming. I really didn't experience much racism. When I compare it to Coastal was a lot of racism, and that was really, really hard for me. There's a lot of colorism in the community. Of course, there's always going to be colorism down south because, it's a little bit different than up north. Like, there's still colorism up north, but it's just not as bad. But yeah, Orlando itself wasn't bad, but I feel like the other parts, like as you start traveling outside the city of Orlando, maybe into like more countryer sides, or just like the different areas, you start to see more of like racism and colorism and stuff. But just right in Disneyland, it's really not like that at all. It's really cool and it's really welcoming. So yeah, when it comes to that, I love it. I kind of just touched on the nightlife. The nightlife is pretty cool. I love all the different programs that you can reach out to for help, like the career services. You can have tutors, you can go to the writing center. Like it's really, really a great school for that. There's a lot of resources and a lot of opportunities you can discover there if you just go after them, if you just reach out and socialize. Like the more you meet people, the more you network, like the better it's going to be for you when you graduate. Networking is like crazy important. Don't just network with, if you're a Black person, if you're Black, don't just network with Black people, and also don't just try to get to the white man. Like literally sit down, like relax when you're at professional events and just feel the vibe. Like talk to everyone applying for a company just because it's all white people. Like dang, you might be that Black person that they need that can bring on other Black people or other Hispanic people. So don't ever close yourself out to something because you don't see other people like you. The other thing is, there's a lot of, the only thing it's not like I didn't like about UCF, because Black culture is pretty deep there. You have Caribbean, African, you got a bunch of different Black people. Afro-Latinas, like everything, Latino, like it's pretty diverse, like the Black community. But the only thing that I saw that kind of got my nerves was sometimes like the Black community would kind of try to separate themselves from white people or just other cultures. And like me, you know, I'm very welcoming and very diverse. It's possible to have your own culture and still be surrounded by other people, or have your own culture and still be able to hang around other people and be yourself. I think sometimes like we forget that as a people, and it's really important to still find that, because when you separate yourself, then other people never have a chance to learn about you. But when you integrate and you do more things together, like when we're all forced to go to tailgates and party on the main lawn and stuff, and you have all these different tents. Yeah, you might go to the there might be a Cuban tent, there might be like your Haitians, different Caribbean, different tents up during tailgates. But the cool thing is, like, everybody goes from tent to tent to tent. Everybody interacts, everybody mixes. The only place that's not really like that as much is like the Greeks. They kind of tailgate on Lake Claire, and it's kind of different. I never really went there. I went there a little bit, but like I didn't really stay by there because like it's just a lot of trash and alcohol everywhere. It's like that on main campus too, but I guess because main campus is bigger, you don't really notice it as much, and in Lake Claire it's smaller, so it's more like compact. And I still loved football games and tailgates. That was probably one of my favorite things. If you're a student and freshman, literally just dive into everything. Go to all the at least once. So if you don't like sports, whatever, go to a football game, go to a basketball game, like go to whatever you want to. Go to our volleyball games, just like soccer, everything, baseball. Like really try to get involved with sports, just at least with one sport that you like. I love sports, so of course that was like one of my favorite things about UCF. We had like 2 undefeated seasons, an undefeated season, and then we lost it that year after that, but still, like, that was really dope for me. I've never gone to a school where the football team was bad. So when I came to UCF, and like 2 years before that with their record, I was like, ugh, I'm dying. But then it just ended up being great. It was a really good time, so I really enjoyed that part as well. I was also involved with the campus activities board. I was the director. That was great because I got to work with marketing, promoting, and just planning ahead for different events. That was really cool. They host concerts, comedy shows, like other different small events. I created my first event, which was bingo, that I actually got from Coastal. That was great. But like one way I got really involved. I also was in the Black Student Union, which was great because you learned about all the different things going on campus and the different events. I did a lot of community service through there. I did community service with CAB once too. And then back when I was a teaching major, I did a lot of community service with going out to schools and teaching. So once I switched out from that, I was like, whoa, like when I changed my major to radio and television, I was like, I gotta find something where I can do community service. And so I started doing Black Student Union and other different clubs so that I could reach out to the community. And Black Student Union was great because what better community to help than your own? And so that was really important to me at the time, and I loved it. I joined the Honor Society. I did Miss UCF twice, and that was so much fun. The first year was like my first time going on stage and performing a monologue, and I had won Best Talent, so like that was really great for me. I have a passion for acting. I always have, so like doing that and me walking in heels, I couldn't walk in heels. Wearing dresses and bathing suits. First of all, when I was on that stage with my bathing suit, I wanted to die because I felt like everything was just flopping everywhere and it's disgusting. And my nephew would be like, ew, you can see auntie's butt. Like, thanks, Nevin. You didn't have to call me out like that. But like overall, it was a great experience. I made really good friends, and so I enjoyed both years to the fullest. So yeah, those are my couple of things that I loved about UCF. I was very heavily involved with a lot of different things. I even worked on campus. Yeah, I always had 2 jobs, but one of my jobs would always be on campus. And I worked at the bookstore, like I worked for tutoring, like I really stayed involved with that school. And I also got 2 internships from there, so that was great. I worked at the radio station. I worked for was with UCF Athletics, and that was great. I definitely recommend, if you are looking into internships, find something that's hands-on. If you don't feel like it's hands-on, reach out and ask, is there more than I can do? Most of the time people are always willing to give you more, and if they're not, that's how you kind of know that's not the internship for you. Thankfully, I was able to get a lot of stuff done, and I was always able to learn from every internship I was at. I never really experienced that, but I had a couple friends that like gave me their experiences, so that's just my advice to you. I was a communications major, so most of my professors were pretty easy to talk to. They would reach out, have long conversations about how they got to where they were and advice for you. I didn't have any like awkward people, because of course like it would be weird to have like an awkward communications teacher. Like, you're supposed to be able to talk. But overall, I really loved UCF. The campus is beautiful. It's huge. People always say freshman 15, you ain't getting no freshman 15 walking all around that campus in that 85-degree hot weather. Like, there's absolutely no way you can gain anyway. You're sweating everything out. You're sweating me coming from up north and going to school at UCF, I was sweating makeup off. There was no need for makeup. The only makeup I had on at UCF was sunscreen, because that's all I could do. Would sweat out my hair all the time. The only hair I had for real was like braids, weave. I would wear my hair out in the afro still, but that shrinkage would make me look like it was blowing my life. But overall, oh my gosh, my other favorite thing about UCF, and then I'm gonna end it with this because I could go on and on about that school, but they had this thing every year where you can, I think I mentioned it in my other video, you can go to Universal. It's called Universal Nights, and that's like our little fair that we do where it's all UCF students. They're all at Universal. You get a free ticket if you like. I recommend everyone going, even if you don't like roller coasters, because still it's cool to go to amusement park with people from your school. Like, you're in line and people are chanting UCF, UCF. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to say about UCF. But overall, it's a great school. I absolutely love it. Shout out to everyone that helped me and support me with my graduation. Shout out to the photographer that did my video, like, you lit. And I would recommend that school to everybody. I will always be a proud alumni. If I did go to graduate school, I would probably go to an HBCU, just because I do like the culture about it. I live in Maryland, so I have Morgan, Howard, Bowie, like there's so many HBCUs by me, and the culture is just amazing. So if I ever did intend, or if I go to graduate school, it'll definitely be at HBCU, probably around home. As long as you can stay focused, because the rumor is like, or the thing that people say is you can't finish. I had no problem with finishing. None of my friends had problems with finishing. The only reason why I graduated late is because I changed my major, and I transferred from an out-of-state school, so they barely took any of my credits. But like, there are so many daggone resources there. You can get through it if you push yourself. And I don't know, I guess thank you guys for watching. That's all I have to say. Like I said, I can go 24 hours about this dang school. I love it. And UCF Go Knights. Yeah, so thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll answer all of them. Or anything else you would like to know, like I said, I'll answer. If you want to know more about Coastal, I haven't talked about it in a while, but I can go back and touch things if you're confused, or you can revisit that old video. But thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.